If you're gonna wear pajamas, just make sure they're not silk pajamas. This is Brian Cain with the Mental Performance Daily Podcast, and today I share a story with you about marvelous Marvin Hagler, one of the greatest boxers of all time. And it was the summer of 1967, and American cities were burning as racial inequality swept across the nation. The summer of love became the long, hot summer, as upwards of 160 riots took place, the most violent of which was in 14-year-old Marvin Hagler's hometown of Newark, New Jersey. Hagler watched from his family's window, hiding underneath his sister Veronica's bed and praying for safety. For 3 days, the Haglers couldn't leave their floor as bullets poured through their windows, and once the violence ended, they chose to relocate to Brockton, Massachusetts. Watching the destruction of the Central Ward, seeing 26 people killed on the streets below and over $11 million in damages to the neighborhood, Hagler was determined to make a better life for himself. The events provided incredible motivation, and boxing afforded him a chance to escape family poverty. Hagler loved the sport. He loved the competition, and most of all, he loved his own success. By 1980, he had become middleweight champion of the world, holding that title until his last fight in 1987. But as the years wore on, Hagler became less in love with the work and more in love with the gifts of his success. When asked why he lost his edge, Hagler offered a brilliant line. He said, "It's hard to do the road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas." You see, contentment is the number one killer of our success on every single level. Complacency kills. You see, what spurred Hagler to become great and achieve his goals beyond his wildest imaginations disappeared once the money poured in and his bedroom attire changed. You see, we know that persistence and mental toughness and determination can be developed, but we also know that they can quickly disappear. When Hagler aspired to become a champion, his life was relatively simple: work, train, compete, reach new goals, strive to be better. But once he won that championship belt and he started sleeping in those silk pajamas, complacency creeped in. You see, once Hagler found a better life, his drive subsided. Instead of finding new ways to motivate himself, he became content. His life, as a result, became increasingly complex. See, losing simplicity, our process, what makes us great. It might sound good in theory to be more complex and to be able to do more and get more out of life, but it can also become our biggest obstacle. We've got to learn to keep it simple. We've got to learn to do simple better. We've got to have a process that we trust. And in order to have a process that you trust, you got to have that process written down. So don't tell me you trust the process. Show me the process that you trust, especially as you ascend to the heights of your chosen field, especially as the life-changing money starts rolling in. How are you going to stay hard? How are you going to stay sharp? How are you going to remember your roots? You're going to trust your process because you have one that you can trust. Let's dominate the day and let's avoid silk pajamas and complacency.
Thanks for checking out Mental Performance Daily with Brian Cain, an IRONCLAD original. If you like the show, be sure to leave us a rating, review, and comments. We'll see you tomorrow.
Are you a coach who wants to level up your ability to coach mental performance so that your clients can consistently perform at their best and get the results that they've been missing? Then join some of the top performing and top income generating coaches in the world by mastering the 10 mental skills your clients need to win. I open my Mental Performance Mastery Coaches Certification course only twice a year, typically in May and November. So your next step is to join my free insiders list so you can save $200 when you join. Just head to briancain.com and click on certification to join our insiders list and learn more about how you can become a certified mental performance mastery coach.
Recently on Change Agents with Andy Stumpf, Andy and Black Rifle Coffee Company founder Evan Hafer discussed ways to combat the challenges facing veterans transitioning from the military.
Work and sacrifice can be miserable, but the long-term health of the individual, it takes work. Yeah. And sometimes that's not easy. And just because it's easy doesn't mean it's good.
Never miss an episode. Subscribe to Change Agents with Andy Stumpf wherever you get your podcasts, and get the full cinematic experience on YouTube at This Is Ironclad.